Joining us today is meeting co-chair Dr. David LaVan. Dr. LaVan, thanks for being with us. So this week's the culmination of several years worth of work and effort on your part. What are some of the highlights that you're looking forward to the 2018 MRS Fall Meeting?
Well, as you know, it's a really big meeting. There's a lot of broader impact events, and there's a lot of technical symposium. One of the things that I'm really looking forward to is the plenary lecture from Paula Hammond on Monday.
Now, the MRS meeting is designed to feature the very latest developments in materials research. So what are some of the trends or new developments that you're seeing reflecting in the programming at this meeting?
So we tried to cover that in the Symposium X topics. So that includes artificial intelligence and big data in material science, devices for quantum computing, next generation photovoltaics, and bioelectronics.
You mentioned artificial intelligence. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but are you particularly looking forward to seeing talks on that?
Absolutely. I mean, it's an emerging technology that's going to impact material science. And so it's interesting. I mean, you can see how it's starting now. And the big question is, what is it going to look like in a few years?
That is the question. So beyond the technical symposia, the program is filled with broader impact events, from government agency sessions to advocacy and outreach events and professional development workshops. Tell us more about the broader impact events and why have they become such a key part of these MRS meetings?
I think it helps cover a lot of the material that researchers would need to use in running a lab or getting started in research, but hasn't historically been covered in a technical symposium. And so, for example, there are workshops on writing better titles and abstracts for papers. There are funding roundtables with funding agencies and VC for people who want to have a startup. There's tutorials on all sorts of materials. One of the ones I'm most interested in is sort of the historical look on lithium batteries to help new researchers see what's been done in the past and where it's going.
So volunteering to be one of the meeting chairs, it's a big responsibility. I don't need to tell you that. You're in the middle of it right now. It is a major time commitment as well. Why did you initially volunteer for such a big role?
So MRS has been a big part of my career. I mean, I presented here when I was a graduate student. I actually got hired for my first postdoc at this meeting. Huh. I got the job I have now at this meeting, working at NIST. And so I was happy to have the opportunity and very proud to contribute to the society and to the meeting.
And I think you touched on that briefly, but what are some of the benefits you see for being a co-chair?
Well, it's given me a much broader view of the meeting than I ever had in the past.
Sure.
As an attendee, you usually see the few symposium that you're really interested in. And now I've been able to see, we had over 90 proposals for different symposia. And, of course, they all are very interesting, but there's only room for about 55. And so you have to take a much deeper look than I had ever done before. And at the same time, I have a much better view of the broader impacts programming, the tremendous diversity of topics that are brought in to sort of fill in the spaces in the technical program.
And originally, again, you touched on this as well, but I want you to expand. Why did you decide to get involved and become a volunteer?
I wanted to contribute to the society. It's something I believed in. As I said, it's helped me a lot in my career. And of course, I'm one of many, many volunteers.
Right.
I don't, I want to.
But you're the only one in front of me now.
Right, exactly. And I would like to thank them. Right? This is an important part of what I do. Is there's probably 250
Sure.
different symposium organizers. Of course, the professional staff at MRS that helps a lot behind the scenes. And then lots of people sitting on committees like the Program Development Committee and the Broader Impacts Committees. So everybody is working together, and so this was one way that I could contribute my effort.
This is clearly a group effort, and a big group at that. And finally, what advice do you have for future meeting chairs that are maybe right now out there thinking about doing something like what you're doing?
Oh, you should do it.
Short and sweet.
Right. It's fun. Of course it's work, but it gives you a new perspective on a big meeting like this, and it lets you appreciate. For me, it's given me a great appreciation for the diversity of material science. You know, it covers many, it goes in many directions that aren't normally, you may not think about.
Dr. David LaVan, thanks for your time.
Oh, of course,
Enjoy Boston.
Thank you.